Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Thought it was the plug, now he running off. Thought it was a plug, now he running off. What you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the...
Hey guys, welcome to the 5 F's to Love. Tonight, you know, is Real Talk with the Men, and we're gonna have a real conversation. You know, being with the women and being with the men, again, I've always been told I'm like a man in a dress, and I totally get that part. But this conversation is a real conversation because every woman wants to know, how do I get to number one? How do I become that wife or that prominent mate that you want to be with? So we're going to have a real conversation about that one thing. And trust me when I say to you, don't ever be surprised by what these guys are going to say, because you know them. They're going to speak the truth. So let me just bring the beat in. RJ, I'm going to start with you because I feel Michigan strong today.
100%. We stay ready. Never got to get ready. You already know what it is.
Like I feel Michigan strong today.
Indeed.
So I feel like I need to bring that whole Michigan vibe in. It's so good to see you. You look amazing.
It's always a pleasure, Christine, my friend and business partner, and the great, phenomenally accomplished Dr. Christine Burkett.
Oh my God! Wait, you have to throw all of that out. You know I like to be just Chris.
Hey, well, just you ain't just Chris tonight.
All right, not just Chris tonight. Well, I'm going to tell you, you know it wouldn't be a show without Matt.
Matt.
Florida's in the house.
Love doctor.
You know what, Matt? All the ladies are like, when can I become an exclusive person on his dating? I said, honey, I'm his friend, and it's hard for me to get in.
We gotta get you your own reality show, Matt.
Look, it's a waiting list.
If we're gonna call it the Love Doctor, we gotta
I
get that
know.
reality show, bro. The
matchmaker to the stars.
Indeed.
I just want to be like, that's so crazy. So I just want to say the person I've been getting a lot of DMs about this week is the good guy.
The good guy.
What's up, fellas?
My guy.
So like
look at
Tim,
Matt.
you're
Matt
like
got
a
the
hot
umbrella
number.
thing going on in the background. I'm gonna give me one of them.
I think, so let me change that. Tim, it hasn't been just you. They said, what's up with them Campbell boys? That's what they said.
Oh my
gosh.
So I just want to be clear. The ladies think that the Campbells are like brothers or cousins or something.
They probably
So
related.
What you say about it?
Exactly.
No, man, come on. I mean, look.
All of us cousins. You
polite.
know that. You know
now.
this whole scripted thing. All of us cousins.
I just want to say you guys got the basically based on the promo and what they saw last week. The ladies are like, the Campbell boys are hot. And then one lady was like, not Campbell boys, Campbell men. They hot as hell. So I want to be clear. You guys getting full of shout outs. So listen, tonight, you guys, and by the way, the lady said I was too soft on you guys for your first show. And they were like, why you not bringing it to them? So you know what? Tonight we're just gonna have a real conversation because you know what? Matt and I talk about this stuff all the time about women who come to him or women in general who say, you know, I want to be a wife. I want to move from being a friend or being a side piece to being a wife or being the number one person. But there's actually a different way that you guys think about things. And so I want the ladies to understand that perspective so they have a better way of mapping out their approach. Unlike me, women seem to think that there's a shortage. For me, it's not. It's never been a shortage. But I think it's all about personality. And Matt tells me all the time, my biggest issue is I don't know how to transfer from friendship to relationship. He was like, you're horrible at this. So everybody ends up staying a friend and I end up not being with a mate. So I know what my issues are, but we're going to find out tonight what everybody else's issues are because I'm asking the questions tonight, ladies. I know they're listening. So we're going to bring it in hot. The first question I have for you guys is, what are the core attributes you would want a potential mate to have? What are the core attributes I didn't say physical appearance. I said attributes that you would want that potential mate to have. So, RJ, I'm going to start with you because I know your answer.
Ooh. Well, some of those core attributes are being respectful, being honest, being loyal, faithful, supportive, understanding, and obviously God-fearing, because that matters as well. And never changing. The problem that we find in marriage, and I know a lot of married people will agree, is that you marry someone and you're dealing with that individual at that moment in time. 10 years, 15 years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, people start to change. When you have children, the woman or the man, the husband or the wife may change. And while change is the only constant, you have an understanding in the beginning that, oh, I'm never going to change this person that I am and I'm presenting to you in this moment. But having children alters that. Then the husband now becomes second or third priority to those children, unfortunately, and that's a reality. So the key is, how do we keep that interest and that spark and everything that we loved about that spouse in the beginning, pre-children, or even if not children are involved, in the beginning throughout the course of the marriage? And that's the challenge. So a lot of people ultimately go to divorce because they either give up, they quit, they can't hang out. Things have changed and they can't handle change and how to adapt to that change. So it's all about your adaptation to the ever evolving human beings that we are, because we ever evolve every day. But when you tell someone, I'm not going to change and I'm going to be committed to this same individual forever, that's not really a promise you can make, because life happens and the world happens, and then your individualism kind of shifts a little bit. So that's, that's just coming from a little personal experience, and also people that I know as well.
I like that. And so before we get started, give me a minute, because Tim's group is shouting out. They said, hello, good guy. Tim supporting you from North Carolina. And then we also have another good guy supporter, which is Jenny Bean. And thank you, ladies, for chiming in tonight. I love the ladies. Trevor, I love the show. So Tim, you got your followers. Like, dude, they're coming in hot ready for you.
I'm trying to bring people to the show. Everybody can't be no doctor and stuff.
We know these Tim personal friends. It's okay though.
I know it. My personal friends.
Look, I told you guys.
I'm teasing. I love
you. Always start out with your personal friends. Whatever.
One of the most positive guys I've met in a long time.
You go to your friends.
Hey, RJ, I got my studio audience. You can't even hear them. I got them back here. I got a studio audience.
Press play so we can hear them clap.
All right. So
All right.
So Tim, I'm going to talk to you next, because I know you've been in a relationship, you transitioned out of the relationship, and you're like this amazing rock star, full-time dad. You're juggling being a full-time parent with 3 boys under the age of 11, and you work. Like, you're really doing it big, and I'm so proud of you. I saw the posts and stuff that you made this week with your son, Kobe, which I think is amazing. So what's your thoughts on what are the core attributes you would want a potential mate to have? What are you looking for?
Obviously, it's going to be God first and foremost, and then it's got to be family, because I'm big in family. That's what I'm all about. That's the reason why I get out of bed every morning, put my pants on for me and my sons and stuff. So that's got to be important. And then the most important thing is you got to still be able to dream, because I'm older now. But I've been in this game since I was 13. I've been dreaming to try to get all this stuff since I was 13. And I still got a big old bucket list I got to accomplish. So I don't think I'm ever going to run out. If you can't dream with me and keep on dreaming, I think that's a lot of times what happens in a relationship. Like RJ was saying, that it gets kind of stalemate where, you just come, like, it's just like a business. You take care of the kids. I go to work, come home, pay the bill. And then it is just basically that, basically a roommate thing. I think if you stay hungry, stay dreaming together, coinciding together and dreaming and working toward goals each day, I think that it's going to add fruitfulness in your relationship that it's never going to get burnt out, because it's not just one thing, sex or one thing that's going to keep you going. It should be like an adventure. Your relationship should be like a pleasant adventure that you should be able to go on a journey together with each other. And if you can go on a journey together with each other, it doesn't matter who's really driving at that time. Sometimes I'm going to drive the car. Sometimes you're going to drive, But most of the time, the man going to be driving. You're going to be sitting over there with your feet on the dash. And I'm thinking about, man, why she got to put up feet on
Dashboard, right?
Okay, so Dr. Campbell, Dr. Campbell, what's your thoughts?
I mean, what you guys said earlier, I completely agree with all those attributes. I think integrity, I think honesty, I think, respect, and of course, God-fearing. I think about it like this, right? So you're building a building, and, an important part of a construction process is the foundation, right? When we speak of core attributes, right, my mind goes to the foundation of that building. If the foundation is not strong, if the foundation is not together, then you might build a skyscraper, but it's bound to collapse when the winds hit, when the earthquake shakes it, when the when the turmoil comes, then it will fall apart because the foundation wasn't there. So when I think about core attributes, again, there are certain things that I believe that, if you have, then we can build, we can work through whatever that may come our way. Things like integrity and honesty, those things are a must. You must have a fear of God, because even if, let's just say we have tough times, if you think about our relationship like, it's the trio that I'm taught in church, it's you, me, and God, and we go back and forth. But when God is removed from that as a mediator, right, when things begin to go crazy and the turbulence begins to hit and there's no mediator, it's going to go crazy. So having both people, having that respect for God and know that, we respect each other, we're honest with each other, even if, we mess up and we lie here or there, it doesn't take away from the honesty that is underlining there. And so, those are some of the things that I believe that are a must for a relationship to work.
Okay. So Matt, I just want to say, Dr. Campbell, I love your relationship with your wife and the fact that she was like your superpower in the beginning. Like she had your back so you could pursue making that change in careers. And what people don't understand, that's an unbreakable bond. So it doesn't make a difference how many ass pictures you get. You're like, that's nice, but this is my ride or die. She had me when nobody else had me. That's what women need to understand. And Matt, you're in the same situation, because Matt, I just want to say I'm your people, and Matt, you're on mute. I'm your people, but I know Matt is around so many different type of people that women are consistently throwing themselves at him. And I really applaud him because it happens in the real world. This is not social media. Matt, unmute yourself for me.
Yeah, so it's to me the attribute is if there was one attribute, it's can you be a helpmate? Whatever that man needs, whatever I need, can you give that to me? And it might mean different things for different people. But the bottom line is, if you meet me at my needs and you're able to help me, then you're gonna get picked. And I might need someone who looks beautiful. I might need someone who's smart. I might need someone who's physically fit, but it's all about meeting that man's needs. And if you can be a helpmate, you'll meet that. And so all the noise in the background, just for the audience, we are at.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, Matt. Folks, he's at 100 Black Men Conference.
I see the lights flash.
Right.
Flash the light. Look at you, Matt. I see you, my guy.
So I just want to say, Matt, you know what I'm looking for. So scan the crowd. Look out for baby girl. So I just want to say, Miko Mo, hi. She's live chiming in from Georgia, but Miko's actually been following us for quite some time. So listen, guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we get back, the next question I'm going to ask you is, how did your wife become your potential mate? The number one. What was that deciding factor? What made you choose that person? And RJ, that would be your previous, and then Tim, that would be your previous. That's what we're going to talk about. And then we'll talk about, for you guys, what are you looking for moving forward? Because you guys are both looking for somebody, which is nice. So ladies, keep your ears open. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat, just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me, 'cause you're older.
cannot.
You're not
I love
the
this.
doctor all the time.
I love it.
You can stop it. Just to tell you, he not get to play doctor every time on the show, man. Sometimes you got to be real.
Hold up. Let me get my white coat.
Man, you got to be Dr. Campbell, bro. You got the only Dr. Campbell on this show.
This is hilarious.
That's why we brothers, man. And that's why we brothers. I love this dude. Oh my God.
I'll be jumping up in this emotion.
Hey, Tim, you know what, bro? I'm coming to see you, man. I rock with you. I love it.
I mean, like, you know, Doc trying to be Doc, if the only Dr. Campbell see it.
Hold up, check somebody's heart, man. Listen to a heartbeat.
I know it. I got to.
Look, hey, Dr. Campbell, he's a cardiologist, so I'm going right now.
You got the whole thing down, bro.
I mean,
I can't do it.
I got to be Dr. Campbell too, man.
That's a
You know
solid
what?
one,
All I gotta
man.
say is you guys make me laugh. Okay, so listen, and so RJ, I'm not gonna start with you, but I am gonna start with Matt. So Matt, I know the love story of you and Crystal, right? And why you chose her as a mate. But the thing is, at the time, you potentially had other people who were very interested in you, but you chose Crystal.
Yeah, so for me, it was real simple. I was at that point where I was looking, I was interviewing. I interviewed dozens of women, and many of them, they just couldn't answer what I was, I was intentional. I wanted to be, multiple houses, business, all those sort of things. And a lot of women, they think they're ready, but they're not. And they disqualify themselves off the bat. You ask them, hey, listen, if I need you to cook, can you cook? No. X. I need you to.
Really, Matt? You got to keep throwing that out.
Listen. I need you to be able to support me professionally. Look, you may be a stay-at-home wife. You may be a part-time worker. But if I need you to work, can you work? Oh, no. I'm going to be a full X. We ain't got time for full-time housewives. You can be a full-time partner who's at the house helping me. So anyway, Crystal was able to answer those questions. I told her I was going into the Navy. She said, okay. I told her I work night and day. She said, sounds good to me. And so all the questions that I asked her, she was able to answer. Physically, and that's the first and most important thing at that age, I liked how she looked. I actually had a list, everything I wanted, the height, the weight, everything, the hair, all those things that she had. So she was already, she was already about 80% of the way there just on how she looked. So that's how I made my selection. And then in terms of what made me ask her to marry me, because that's really the question, right? I could have dated Crystal for 10 years. I was ready to be married because I had a job, I had a steady income, I had health care, I had all the tools I felt that I needed to take care. And that's what I think is for a lot of men. Do you have the tools to take care of a wife? If you pick a man who's got those tools, then you'll never be wifed. But if you find a man who has those tools, you'll be wifed.
Okay, guys, so before I go to the next person, and Tim, you'll be next, I just want to say, Jenny Bean, thank you so much. She's crying and laughing at you. Chantel, you guys, you're making them laugh, Tim, because you're just so hilarious. And Ross from Real Talk with the Ladies, Ross, Real Talk with the Ladies says, OMG, I love a guy that can make me laugh. Tim, you're getting a lot of shout outs tonight. And Bliss, thank you so much for joining us. It's a really good friend of mine. Thank you for joining us, Bliss. She said, yummy. So you guys are getting a lot of little shout outs.
Dr. Tell them like, where does work tomorrow?
You're gonna wear that to work tomorrow? Okay, so ladies,
it's after work. I gotta like.
Dr. Campbell, get ready to strip it off. Like
the Campbell brothers.
The Campbell War.
Heart attacks or anything. I better cover up because you know.
Right. You guys are hilarious. So Tim, you know, you've already been through that transition. You're working on the second part, but what was one of the things that attracted you to your mate for you guys to have these beautiful children? Because they're like absolutely adorable.
I mean, she was a beautiful woman. Of course, I don't really just want to be with just nothing that I consider ugly. And like I said, I would never say nothing bad about it, but she would say stuff about me because I'm not that kind of person or whatever. So I would never do it like that because she did give me 3 beautiful sons. But I think
made her your potential mate. Like, What?
Yeah, I mean, because I thought I had potential. I was finna have my first kid. I wanted the dog, the house, the picket fence, and I know I was still dreaming, and I was gonna accomplish all these things and all that stuff. But sometimes you get with people, let's say.
No, but what? Right, I understand that, but my question is, what attracted you to her primarily? What was it about her?
I was a physical attraction.
Outside of that, you just thought she was,
No,
she
I
had the
mean,
right body type?
when you first start out, everything's fun until the rabbit get the gun, So,
Okay, but my question is, what made you choose her as the mother of your children? What made you choose her?
Because, like I said, in the beginning, it's a lot of good times in anybody's divorce, pretty much, or whatever you go through and having children. It's a lot of good times in there. Now, that's why I said I can't just say it was.
No, we're not talking about the experience. We're talking about her as an individual person. I'm quite sure you had a lot of other women lined up. What was it about her?
She was a good person, good looking, and we was good together. And then, I mean, like I said,
Was she cooking? Because my thing is cooking. Does she cook?
But the thing about me is I'm a thoroughbred. I don't require a lot. Only thing I need you to do is just rub my mane a little bit, and I'm gonna run real hard. So
to rub your mane?
Yeah, just rub my mane a little bit. I'm gonna run real hard.
Now does the mane refer to a certain body part or just your back?
The mane is the hair on the horse.
Read between the lines. Now read between the lines.
You can't be schooling on everything, RJ. It's DC.
So so basically what you're saying is it was because she was very supportive of you. That was one of the things that attracted you to her?
I mean, I was attracted to her, like I said, because she's a beautiful person, a woman in person, and we was beautiful together for a while, So, like I said, I really can't really just say nothing. I could say stuff bad about it, but I'm not that guy.
No, we're just saying why did you choose her as your potential mate? That was it, not anything bad. But okay, you gave it. All right, ladies, you want to know?
You never let me finish though. I'm trying to get to the point without saying it in a bad way. What I'm trying to do, I might be kind of stretching it out or whatever. Give me a second here.
I just said the question was what made her your potential mate? Like what moved her up the ranks versus somebody else? Not your experience.
That's why I said she was beautiful and we was good together for a while.
All right. So that's the answer. And ladies, if you want to know what rubbing his mane is about, you will have to DM Mr. Tim, Good Guy. He's not going to give out that information. So the other Mr. Campbell over there, Dr. Campbell, what moved your wife up the ranks, at that time? Because by the way, their story is a love story too. I love it.
So I'd say we when we met, we were in church in New York, and like as young people, there are a bunch of young people in the youth social groups. You're interacting, you're going to bowling, you're going to pool, you're doing like several different things as a social youth group. And in that group, of course, there's several potentials in the group. As you're in your late teens, early 20s, you're seeing this one, seeing that one, and as a young man, you're looking around, right? You're looking around, who's here, who's there. What I did realize though over time is that the one who truly took interest in me, I think that's really because, they were all interested in me more so for physical sort of, attraction. Hey, let's do this together. And believe it or not, church, we should talk about church as another time, but church, I tell you, that's a whole different story.
That's a whole podcast. We're going to talk about that.
Podcast. But we had several that were really interested in, just getting physical, which is okay. Which is okay. At that point, you're young, you're experimenting, that's fine. But what happens after that? And at that age, I realized that of all these young ladies and beautiful young ladies, bodies of goddesses, I mean, they're just gorgeous, but they did not have much substance, after the activity, right?
After the activity.
And what? And so, that's what got my attention. I mean, of course, she was, not just in school, but she had plans and dreams of doing something more. It wasn't just, about hair and nail and makeup. And at that point, I realized that a lot of the girls that I was with at that point, I mean, we've been married now for 24 years. So it goes back to when I was like in my early teens. I'm sorry, in my early 20s. But again, the physical, but then what's next? I was about the future. And I was trying to find someone who was on the same wavelength. And Of course, there might have been a million people around the world who could be on the same wavelength, but at that point, in that circle, in that group, she was the one that was on the wavelength that synchronized with mine. And again, it was more than a physical thing. It was more of a mental thing. Like she got to my mind. And when she got to my mind, then the rest was like, I can build with her. We can do so much together. We can, work together, and we can really, 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 conquer anything. And once that spark ignited into a fire, then I was like, this is the one. But again,
you know what?
I think go ahead.
That's one of the things that's common, I think, across all of you guys, is that, like, for Matt was like it was the right time, but genetically it was just the right energy. And the same thing with Tim. It was like it was the right time, and she came with the right energy. And I think a lot of times, like you said, women think that beauty part is going to take them all the way, but a lot of times it's not. It's just not going to make that happen. So I just want to say, Tim, when you came back, Roz was like, yes. And then Dr. Campbell was getting ready to take his clothes off and put on something. Roz was over there like, let's do this or whatever. And let me take Darren Tucker from college. I love when my college family chimes in. Hey, Darren. That's him and his beautiful wife. He said, I picked my son's mom because we had a good chemistry in her body. And then he also said good genetics. So that's very much like Tucker. I just want to be clear. He has not changed since college. So RJ, I'm not going to even ask you that question. I'm going to ask you, what are the characteristics of the person you're looking for right now? And Tim, I'm coming right back to you on that. I'm going to ask you the same question. What are you looking for right now? Because now you're like, you're older. What are you looking for?
I want to answer the original question.
Don't feel cheated.
So what am I looking for in the person right now?
Yeah.
Respect, loyalty, support, belief, and unwavering confidence in me. Obviously, I'm raised in the church. My grandfather's a pastor, so I grew up in the church. So there's a level of submissiveness that has to be there, but it's not all the time. For me to be beautiful, which is important physically. Physical attraction is everything when you don't meet someone initially and talk to them before.
And don't forget to add in flexibility.
Oh, flexibility, 1000%. Because I'm a Leo Virgo, so I'm a different breed out here. You know what I'm saying? So that woman has to be flexible, understanding, supportive, open-minded, and also, but circling all that back to God-fearing, because being raised in the church and having to go to church 5 times a week as a child through my young years, that's important to me, and sometimes we get away from that in the ways of the world, but without God, we would be nothing. And it's very important. But realistically though, a woman that is supportive of you, believes in you, has confidence in you, is submissive to you, respects you, and is loyal to you, and is also physically beautiful and attractive, that's you're winning. And I know all the gentlemen on the panel would agree. And even my wife, she's a beautiful woman. She supported me. She believed in me when many people did not. And that made a difference to me. Yeah. Right. So someone that believes in your views and your dreams when other people don't, even when you don't believe in it 100% yourself, like we spew out, I aspire to be this, so I believe I can be this. But we may not be 100% confident in it, but for someone else to see that in you and believe in you and support that and believe that, yes, you can achieve that means so much to a man. So that's
I like that. One of the things that I love, and people, you don't know this, but in a group chat every morning, one of the things I love about Good Guy is that he always starts off the morning with this wonderful statement. But not only that, so you guys don't know, these guys are my friends, which is really weird, because and Matt will call me. Matt doesn't care what time it is. If it's 5 o'clock in the morning and he wants to talk to me, he hits ring. He calls me. He doesn't care. But one thing I like about Tim calls me, and Tim's attitude, he has 2 things: that you make your bed and let's pray. So to me, that makes sense.
Gotta make that bed.
His thing is, you got to start your head off right and where you're going to go. And that's one of the things I love about, but people may not naturally know, Tim, that you're that guy. You are all about that.
That's the biggest reason why the military is so hard on making your bed and bouncing the court off and all that stuff, because when you do that, you know, the first 20 minutes of when you're waking up is going to be the most important time of your day. So you really shouldn't watch no news and nothing like that when somebody's getting shot, ran over, and all this stuff in the first 20 minutes of your brain firing off signals that you need. You want to get something positive out of the way. And when you make your bed, you already accomplished one little goal for the morning already to set your day snowballing and it goes. And then if your day goes a little hard, it's a little too hard on you at the end of the day, you got a good tight bed to come back into at the end of the day. Yeah. Start it all over and do it again.
So that's
why the military.
To all the adults out there listening, if you don't make your bed up,
make your damn bed, man.
Something wrong with you.
Okay, so let's get right before
you gotta make that bed up. Gotta make your bed up.
I get tired of people coming at me. We're going to commercial break. I don't always make my bed. But when we get back, we're going to talk to them about women who are attracted to them and they're not attracted to that woman. And also, what does it take for a woman to realize that she's not number one when she's in a relationship that's going nowhere? We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up. Yeah. I'm chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. Used to see this on my sleep when I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car. I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes. Niggas floss, I'm really pulling strings for the pound cake. I see you went for a puppet in the clown face for a little wage. That shit the talk of the town is late. Still me, I never switch sides.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Real Talk with the Men on the 5F's to Love Network. I'm going to say I have so much fun with you guys. I kind of wish that I could just hang out with you guys like during the day. Sometimes I want to call everybody and say, all right, let's do a group call because I need to talk to you. So one of the things I want to tell you guys, as a woman, I find that me having so many male friends has been really great for me, right? It's given me an opportunity to really have real conversations about where I'm at in relationships or relationships that I'm thinking about having. And you guys having real conversations with me. So I love that. But a lot of women don't have that. And the other thing that I learned from you guys, to make it real simple, is that you guys were like, why can't I just compliment a woman and tell her she's beautiful without her thinking that I'm really interested in her, right? And sometimes I think as women, I'm not going to say we're thirsty or hungry, but it's rare that we meet a gentleman, a nice guy who's just saying we're beautiful and not attempting to get in our pants, right? So I think that's what it is, and it kind of plays with you. So it's all of you guys, and I can say this with true sincereness, are such really good guys. And I'm telling you, like, really good guys. I've gotten to know a lot of you like on a regular level, and some of you really personal, but you guys are all really good guys. So you're not the average. So I want to ask this question. Wait, before I ask this question, you know, our comments are loading up because we got so many women chiming in right now. I just want to be clear. Got a lot of people chiming in. So Precious from Real Talk with the Women, she said, come on now. She's watching. Precious also said, Precious is in the house. Oh, yeah, Christine, great question for these chocolate tenders.
Yes. Chocolate is always in.
Okay.
Lights
Gerald,
out with Christopher Wills and Albie Shore.
I can't take it. Somebody told me I need some vanilla on here. So just to let you guys know, so Gerald Robinson, which is tomorrow's show, 60s and 40. Gerald, thank you for chiming in. He said all good answers, guys. You know what? Gerald's like, I want to come and join them one night. I want to come and hang out with
you. Got your own show, bro. No.
Yo, they're like, no, they're not inviting you. Precious chimed in from YouTube. She's on Facebook and YouTube. She said, good evening, King, from P. And she also said, we can tell you are having fun, Christine. I always have fun. So, and people always say that, Christine. So first of all, I'm on 7 days a week. You guys are on 1 day a week. But I have fun every night because I genuinely want us to have great conversations about what's going on in life. So this is a question for you guys. When a woman is attracted to you, but you don't find them attractive, how do you respond to them? Because you guys are really sensitive about those things. So Matt, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, you know, earlier you asked us what's the most important attribute, and everybody said respect. And a lot of listeners think that they give respect. But I found in my practice that a lot of women have no respect. And the fact that if they like you and you don't like them and they continue to pursue you, that's another example of no respect. So if you really respect a person and you indicate that you like them and it's not reciprocated, it's time for you to move on. If you don't move on, that's just another example of disrespect. And there's so many ways that women, a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women do not respect men.
Well said, Matt.
Okay, so listen, ladies, this is coming from Matt. He actually has an executive matchmaking company where he matches top executive women with the 10% or the 1%ers, and he's very successful at it. And let me just say, I'm his friend and I'm on the waiting list. So I just want to be clear. This is not easy to get in.
Well, I'm on the waiting list because you don't cook, Christine. I
know. I'm on the waiting list because I don't cook. But I just want to say that there is a guy out there who's going to love me even though I don't cook. I just want to be clear because I think I'm a rock star outside of the. And by the way, I know how to set up a good table and make 4 good meals. My son says I make 4 good things. So I can at least make those 4 good things and then have him fall in love with me and he'll ask me to marry him. And then
there's 7 days.
That's all.
You're making progress. I first met you say 0 good things. You only need to have
it depends on what those 4 good things are, because if grilled cheese is one of them, that ain't
No, it's not. It's like legitimate stuff. Forget them. I'm not going to worry. So Dr. No, so what do you do? Because I know in your practice and also because your Instagram. So you have like almost 90,000 followers or something on Instagram. And I know women are coming at you left and right because you have this positive body image and you're really just promoting healthy living and positive body image. And I think sometimes when people look at your pictures, they're getting the wrong message.
Always. The wrong message. People have been getting the wrong message. I think it's because of that. That's the message that they want to get, right? I put out what I am, but the interpretation is a whole different story, right? And that has been happening since I was in my 20s. Thank God that my wife that I have and who knows, and we've been rocking together. She's not shaking. She's not moved. She was like, "Oh, did you see?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw." She was like, "That's not bad. What do you think?" I'm like, "Wow." We have these conversations back and forth. But if she was one that I would say that was insecure about a relationship, it would work. But I have people all the time. I mean, whether it's online or whether it's in my practice. And I live in Las Vegas and I go out a lot to different meetings, different events. And we talked about respect earlier. And I want to double back on that a little bit because it's not just with, men who are single, but men who are married. The pursuit is relentless. Relentless to the point you're like, hun, do you want to go talk to her? Because she's like, nah, just let her do her thing, because eventually she'll realize that, it ain't gonna happen, right? We've been there so many times back and forth that, we let people just, go down that rabbit hole. And I'm like, you're so far down, you can't come back up. But why did you even go there? You saw that there was no, no reciprocation of this energy that you're trying to solicit or elicit rather. And you're still pursuing. Again, it goes back to that respect issue. And believe it or not, a lot of people just don't care. They don't care. They just don't care. They don't care who.
I think that's amazing.
and they just push, and they'll say, "Oh my gosh," they'll come right up, and I'm like, "Ma'am, now I'm gonna have to check you because you've crossed the line, and you see right here that my wife and I are here, but you're walking up. How And I address people when they get that disrespectful because they've put it there that they need to be addressed accordingly, right? So when they get
that's amazing that women are doing that
open with it, I believe that as men, we have a responsibility to protect what we have. And that means that we have to take a stand at that point and say, and be vocal about it. Say, I'm sorry, you've done this several times. We've noticed it. We've watched this. But I think we ought to have a respectful conversation. No yelling, no screaming, no disrespect. But I believe you need to fall back respectfully.
I like that. I'm going to compliment Tim because I think Tim is really good at, especially when he's with his kids and stuff. And I've teased him a couple times when his son got the bike the other day, and I was teasing him. I said, "You were up at the school with the teachers and stuff, and with the ladies. How did that work out?" Tim, you get hit on all the time.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I get my share. I ain't know the day this is. I get mad.
Okay, I'm sorry, Tim. You got what? He has 50,000 followers on Instagram. What do you say? You get hit on sometimes? You get hit on every day.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really judge that because people just do that because that's what they do on the internet, It ain't hard to double tap.
Okay, so we're clear, Campbell boys. You all post more body shots than anybody on the podcast. So
that's not by coincidence or accident. Okay, like,
I mean, but the thing about it,
I can get 100,000 followers.
I love it.
But I was telling Matt, my brother Matt, right there, it don't really even matter when it comes to it. It's about you feeling good about yourself because it's way better guys with better shape than me on the internet and all that stuff. But they ain't got what I got though. So it's how you feel.
Okay, so Tim, I'm gonna tell
take
you.
Your shirt off, Matt.
I don't believe that. Tim,
you're shirt 50. Off them folks. You had about 30,000 overnight.
Matt, I don't believe that. You're 50. I mean, Tim, you're 50 and your body is amazing. And I'm going to be honest with you. Dr. Campbell cracks me up. He makes me laugh. But the thing is that he is so laid back about stuff. Like all I can do is he sent me a personal text with him jump rope.
Dr. Campbell, that jump rope had me trying to jump rope.
I love it.
Wait. Before we get off track, I want to address the question.
Okay.
So here's the issue. Us as men, we're conditioned to handle rejection and move forward. Women are not conditioned to handle rejection and move forward. So there have been plenty times in my life, and I'm sure all these other gentlemen's lives, where when you reject a woman and say, "I'm not interested," as the doctor has expressed, as Matt has expressed, they keep coming. So women, unfortunately, are not mentally and emotionally conditioned to handle rejection because a woman feels that if I approach this man should want me. And that's not going to be the case all the time. And that's what's wrong with women. So we live in a society where us as men, we're okay and conditioned to handle rejection. We'll move forward because we are physical creatures. We're not emotional. Whereas with
God, they're loading up here. Wait a minute.
With women, you're emotional creatures. So when a man tells you no or rejects you, you don't know how to handle that, and you go berserk. Oh, wait a minute, no. What do you mean no? I need to understand why. What's wrong with me? And it carries on.
And they go through all of that.
All of that.
It's
happened to me so many times, whether I'm with the woman I'm with or by myself. And women get to a point to where it gets disrespectful, as the doctor expressed. I've been in that situation over a dozen times.
Oh, I know you have, RJ.
Listen, you see I'm with this woman. I've already expressed to you, I appreciate your interest, but I'm not interested. But you continuously want to pursue me. Now you've entered the realm of disrespect, and I don't tolerate disrespect, right? That's not okay. You can't be disrespectful of me or the person that I'm with. So now we got to try to have a respectful conversation about your disrespect, which shouldn't even be a thing, right?
It shouldn't be a thing. Right. So I'm going to say, you guys, I knew this was going to happen. Everybody wants to comment. Precious says, Matt, you went there. Shots fired. Can't lie. I've had to move on a few times when interested and was not there. Chantel said, does she agree with Matt? And thank you for chiming in, Chantel. We appreciate your support. Precious also said, Matt, me walking away was the best. No pretending to be friends, none of that. Surprisingly, they thought I would just stay pinning. Great answer, Matt. They appreciate it. And Precious also said, Dr. What she say, at Dr. Campbell, say the wrong message. Say that wrong message. And that's the truth. Women, sometimes it's all about in the messaging. And Roz said, from Real Talk with the Ladies, thanks, Roz and Precious, for supporting your other cast members. She says, finally, a real man protecting his wife. I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. And of course, Tim, you and Dr. Campbell, y'all getting all of these little at Tim's, at Dr. Campbell. He said, they ain't got what I got. Say that. And so,
I mean,
guys,
everybody got their own.
Keep going. It's more comments, Christine. Keep going. Keep going.
We start living in your gift. That's what it is. Everybody got their own.
Keep going, baby. I see more over there. Keep going.
I know. Listen, it's a lot happening. She said, RJ, speak.
Keep going, baby. One more after that.
And so Tucker hit it. He said, I agree. Indeed. Darren, of course you would agree. Okay, so all I can say is that you guys are really, driving in on what the issues are. And I really love that. Ladies, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. But when we get back, we're going to really dive in on what are the conditions and terms that men normally actually go outside of their relationship. What conditions or terms set in? Because the thing is, women, I want you to understand, once you get this man, it's not game over. You still got to go in hard and keep it going. So we're going to talk about that right after these messages. I promised I was going in. I kept my promise. Be right back.
Need it all. Do you want it though?
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought.
Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merch. 6 figures was a goal, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, I don't know it bleeds.
I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. And through the struggle, I can see another drought.
Yeah, same circle, still the same gang. We just get to it, we don't gangbang. Lost some friends, said the same thing. Keep a low pro.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's to Love, Real Talk with the Men. You gotta watch Saturday. I love Mordecai, Santana, and Forrest. When I tell you these guys are like major players in finance, and I'm so lucky to have them on the platform. I mean, they are such rock stars. You really need to listen. They're going to help you get your money right at every level, not just if you got money, if you're trying to grow your money, if you're trying to grow money for your business. They're going to talk from every aspect. These guys deal with major people, and I can't toss out any names, but let me just say this. They are the real deal Holyfield. And let me tell you this, they came from where we came from. Okay, so they weren't born into money. They made their money the hard way. So let me just say this, guys. You guys are really hitting home. I really appreciate your honesty and everything you're saying. I guess for me, I talk to Matt all the time, and he's constantly in my shit about my life. But let me just say this, ladies. This is a real conversation. These guys are my friends, and everybody always asks me the craziest question, which is, how are all of these guys your friends and they're all so attractive? RJ will tell you we hang like nobody's business, but that's my boy. That's my road dog. And when we hit these spots, that's my peeps. When I come to Vegas, I'm hanging out with Campbell's over there. Him and his wife, I'm gonna be up there doing it. I already told Tim I'm coming to Tennessee. Matt already knows I'm coming to Florida. But the thing is that we have real conversations, and all of them are not always nice. You know, when Dr. Campbell, thank you so much for sending me the jump rope, right? So you know, I went and did my jump roping, but you know, I don't have any rhythm. So I'm working on that. So I thought I went and got my hula hoop because I can do the hula hoop because baby girl got them hips. So I can keep that hula hoop up, right? So I've been doing the hula hoop, okay? And I've been watching the Hula Hoop Nation. By the way, IE Hula Hoop Nation is a Black woman who does it. You can lose weight doing hula hoop. But I like that. But the thing is that one of the things I like about Tim will call me about anything at any time of the day. Tim is like, stop sitting there and go get on a treadmill and talk to me. Go get on your bike and talk to me. So the ladies, what I'm saying is when you have good friends, they talk the truth to you, but they also motivate you. And don't be afraid when somebody's giving you the truth and they're getting in your shit. Like Matt tells me, I would have a man already if I could cook. Okay, here we go. So the thing is, under what terms and conditions would you look at someone outside of your relationship? Because now we're going to do a real conversation because we want women to understand when you get that man that you've been looking for, that you've been wanting, you got to keep him. Okay, because RJ made a point. Kids come into the relationship, jobs, whatever's happening, but you still have to have that ecosystem between you and your spouse. So I'm going to start with you very quickly, Dr. Campbell. You got 2 minutes to give us the dish on how you and your wife keep that spark tight because your daughters are beautiful, by the way. One of them is going to be a supermodel. I love her skin. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. So the beauty about us, I think, is we work together. People say, how do you work together with your wife? She's my business partner, right? And because she's my business, she manages my practice, right? So we have conversations. We don't drift. People, I think, who don't spend time together oftentimes drift apart. Mm-hmm. And that's natural. There's no formula to that when you don't spend time and you don't engage, when you don't share in moments, whether it's frivolous moments or just random stuff. You're talking about, hey, let's play a card game, or hey, let's just sit and catch a movie, or hey, let's just catch up about what we saw or heard yesterday. Just the basic things. These are the things I believe that form bonds over time. And these bonds eventually become unbreakable bonds, but it's the little things. It's not planning a trip going to Italy or, right, planning this big thing going to, Mexico or whatever. No, it's not those big vacation items or, going to, a gala or whatever. No, it's the time that you spend together.
It's the little things.
What can I say about what we do? And it's not just for her keeping me, and it's me keeping her too, because the same way that I can get distracted, we both can get distracted along the way if we don't focus. It takes effort. It's not spontaneous. It's not magic. I believe that you really have to focus on making a relationship work.
And I'm like, it's not just that part though, Dr. Campbell. You all physically. She's very, her body is physically fit too. So it's a physical attraction. It's a mental and intellectual attraction, but you guys are like best friends. It's beyond it's best friends. And that's one of the things that I like. And now, Matt, I'm coming to you because I know Crystal, first of all, it cracks me up. I love Crystal because Crystal be like, oh, that's Christine. Just go ahead. She don't even care. But I love Crystal because Crystal shares you with everybody, but Crystal's so secure that she's good. Like, and I say that to Matt because Matt knows he's where is Waldo. Matt could be anywhere on any day of the week, and Crystal will either roll with him or she don't. But Crystal's good. But Matt, what is it? Because she works at that marriage.
Yeah. So it's all in the pick. Everything happens in the pick. If you pick wrong, what they say in cards, think long, think wrong, pick wrong. If you pick wrong, there's nothing you can do. You could be the most beautiful, the most successful. If you pick wrong and the husband is prone to cheating, there's nothing you can do. He's going to cheat. Right. You cannot stop a grown person from doing what they want to do. So that's not a reflection on you in the sense of what you can do. It is a reflection, though, of the person, the man that you picked. So when you're picking a man, one of your top criteria has to be loyalty. If you pick a man who's loyal, it doesn't matter whether you can cook or not, Doesn't matter
Saying
gain
what was
weight
that?
or
But
not. If
what Matt, you cook or not?
doesn't matter once you get them.
RJ, have my back. Don't let Matt pick at me.
No.
Tim, what about you and Dr. Campbell? Y'all don't have my back?
Always, girl. Always. Always.
Christine. And then the other thing about it is this. There's a Nigerian expression, and it says, the beautiful ones are not yet born. You know, I go to conferences, have been going to them since 2006. 5,000 women, 10,000 women. It's just, it's outrageous. So if I don't have self-control, there's nothing that Crystal could do, no matter if she was sitting next to me, because the women don't care. They walk up, they have no respect. So for Crystal, and I don't want to speak for her, but I will tell you this, I think she just chooses to trust. And trust is very important. Once you lose trust in a relationship, the relationship is dead, no matter what it looks like from the outside. But I would tell any woman, the number one thing is pick well, because if you ignore the red flags and he has women and he's cheating on you while you're dating, then he's going to cheat on you while you're engaged. He's going to cheat on you while you're married.
I like that. So RJ, what about you? And then Tim, I'm going to go to you last, because Tim doesn't believe in all of that extra stuff. His statements crack me up. Tim has quotes for everything, by the way. But he quotes.
What you call them? Country sayings.
Never mind. We won't get, because all of y'all make me laugh. But go ahead, Archie.
What was the original question? Like,
the original question was, under what conditions or terms do men normally look for someone outside of the relationship?
Right. So when a woman stops doing everything she did to get you, and then gets comfortable and complacent, because what happens in a lot of relationships, and the friends I speak with, even those that are counselors, therapists, even in Matt's field, is that the most important thing is consistency, right? So if I had to do all these things to get you to love me and fall in love with me and to be with me, I got to continuously do those things throughout a relationship, regardless of the children and the changes. And I think what happens is, and I'm just going to keep it a buck and take it there. Sex is a big thing for men. We're physical creatures. So when women decide to not continue,
good job, RJ,
the sex that we need, the physical intimacy that men need, because men are physical creatures, women are emotional. Let's just keep it real. Well, a lot of women try to punish us by neglecting a sexual activity, but they fail to realize that there are 10, 20 women that are waiting in the wings for us at any given time, but we're respectful enough of our relationship and our marriage, the situation, whatever it may be, to only be honed in on that woman. But we all have a breaking point. So at the end of the day, you trying to punish a man by neglecting sex is doing more harm to the relationship than good. So for the reality is, we have to remain consistent in the love, consistent in the affection, consistent in the physical intimacy, and everything will be okay. But when women start to tear off from that, then that's when problems start to happen. Men's eyes start to wonder whether it's good or bad, whatever your purpose is. But we are naturally physical beings. Women are naturally emotional beings, and that's just the reality of life. Once you understand that, it is what it is.
So, Archie, that's what makes me a weirdo, because I'm the total opposite. I'm having sex even when I'm mad. We could be arguing.
Well, you're in the minority.
I know, because I don't care.
You are what us men call a woman nigga. You understand? You got nigga tendencies.
She's a dude.
There are about 10% of women in this world that have nigga tendencies, and you fall.
Okay, that's so mean. Because I'm quick. I don't even care. I'm like, is this argument done? Can you be naked?
Hey,
just
that's
down.
biblical. That's biblical. Every Sunday. That's biblical. Every Sunday.
I'm like, I don't even get that part. So Tim, what about you? Like, what would be conditions or terms that you would go outside of the relationship?
Like I said, if stuff started changing, but really myself, to tell you the truth, I try to make it work and try to do the right things for myself to be a good person. A lot of times the person that's going to do that is going to do it regardless. You can do everything right. That's why one thing you shouldn't worry about in a relationship, you got to worry about trusting them, and if they're going to do all this stuff and who's liking the social media and all that stuff, I think you just don't need to be with them, because a person is going to do. You can't make a grown person do what they don't want to do. They're going to do it regardless if that's the person, if that's who they are as a person. You know, and a lot of men, that, not saying that against my brother, a lot of men do it just because of opportunity. We don't have to have no emotional content with it or none of that stuff.
That's real.
You know, we don't have to be with you no more than that one time, and we going back home. You know, so it ain't about that. Women kind of tend to get more mental and more connected, and when a man can just do it and just go on back to his business. But at the end of the day, like I said, I just think it's more so to that it's that individual person, that they're just that type of person that feels like that, because a lot of men are good at being men. You know, they show masculinity, can fix a car, can do a lot of stuff, lift weights and get buff and everything. But being a good man is two different things. You know,
right.
A lot of men, you know, anybody can be stand up, call yourself a man, but a lot of men don't do a lot of man shit all day.
Say it,
you know
Tim.
I mean? So
man.
being a good man is a little bit different than being good at being a man. So I say, I just trust myself. I just try to do the right thing. A lot of times it don't come out like that right there, whatever. And I have to modify it a little bit. But at the end of the day, I want to be the one who's above the small shit, and that when I'm done, it's because I'm done because of something you did. And it's past so many opportunities that we can't recover from it. So I said, but that's just my logic of thinking. And then
oh my God,
ain't nothing wrong with it. You want to be we want to
strive. That's what
to
makes
be
you the good guy.
Be the exception and not the rule. 100%.
You are.
Love that, bro.
Okay, so Darren Tucker from Delaware says, if a man feels taken for granted and a woman stops doing what she did to get him, for some men that might make his eye wander. Precious said, I'm coming to Vegas in November. So check Doc out.
All right, Doc, we coming to Vegas.
She said complacency. She said yes. Darren, you're just like, you're killing me. She said me too on a comment that I made when I was saying I'm right there with you, Christine. I don't let our arguments stop
Jenny B. All right, Jenny B.
I know Jenny B said she would have. She said real talk with the men for sure. Thank you so much, Raz, for your support. She also said all great points. And Shantae said, yes, I agree with you, Tim. So the thing is, you know, big picture, ladies, and I'm not going to say I'm the perfect person. Unfortunately, I do have what did you call me, RJ? What'd you say I was?
You got nigga tendencies.
You got what?
You got nigga tendencies.
You say nigga tendencies.
Nigga tendencies. That's what she is. I know, right? She accepts that as reality.
Man, he's silly, man.
Out on the floor. That's crazy.
Nigga tendencies.
You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck always. I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Okay, and I'm gonna say, ladies, RJ's coming from the fact that we do hang out. So
I know her. I know her.
Well, let me just say this to you. It's you know, it's never surprising to me that, well, it's never surprising to him when we go into places. I'm just going in to have a good time. I'm not really there to meet anybody. That's just me, because RJ knows my thing. I don't date in the state that I live in. I just don't.
You got to be a flight away, gentlemen. A flight away.
You need to be a flight away. And that's just my thing, because I'm so focused on work. I don't like any distractions. And I also like to keep my private life private. And that's just the way I am. So I date outside of the state. But more importantly, ladies, one of the things I want you to get from this is that you've got to understand what a man wants. And I always tell people, you got to know your market, right? You got to know who your demographic is. So if you're going after a Tim, a Dr. Campbell, a Matt, or RJ, why don't you take the time out to really listen to them? Why don't you focus on being a friend to them? And you'll find, and not Dr. Campbell and Matt because they're married, I'm saying their type, but find out what it is that they like. Listen, because you'll find out, and the love language thing is very valid. I'm a person of service and acts. I like people to surprise me. I love gifts. I don't care if it's a card. I don't care if it's a pack of sticky notes. If you know I use sticky notes every day, you send me some sticky notes in the mail, because that means you know me. And that's the thing. It's like being in tune to who I am. I'm going to tell you, ladies, I get dick pics, body pics all day, every day. I do. In my DMs, it's ridiculous. I could probably start a porn page just with what I get. Okay. But let me just say this. None of that matters. Just like all of these guys, they get those pictures all the time. They're intriguing for that moment. But outside of that, we're looking for something bigger than that. It's bigger than that conversation. Since RJ lumped me in with the guys, it's bigger than that. Roz, I hang out with Roz too. Roz know how I act. I just want to keep it real. RJ, it seemed like you got people on your fan base too. I'm concerned about that.
Of course. Look at me. Of course.
She said Christine has NLT, ninja like
NLT. I like that. NLT. Let's coin that. NLT.
That's it. I'll make a t-shirt with that on just for you, Christine. Absolutely.
Are you gonna do me a t-shirt just for me?
I got you a t-shirt that's gonna say NLT. Absolutely. Thank you, Roz. We appreciate it.
And she said, absolutely at Christine. That's what I'm saying, Chantel. Women, look, we're gonna close out this as soon as we come back from this very quick commercial break. And each of the men are gonna tell you some of the things that they suggested you do to approach a man that you want, like how to approach a man that you want. Each are gonna give you their closing, how to approach the man that you want so you can close the deal. It's all about closing those deals. And I'm going to tell you right now, ladies, there's not a shortage of men. It is really not.
No.
It's how you present yourself. It's the energy that you give off. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not looking for it and I'm not bragging, but I get offers all the time. I just say, no, I don't want it because it's just not what I want at the time. I know what I want. Everybody knows I have a type. If you know me, you know my type. If you don't know me, then you don't know. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Hey guys, be sure to like us on all of our social media sites where you're watching, and be sure to share with anyone that you know that might be interested in watching one of the 5Fs to Love network shows. We're on every night from 8 to 9 p.m. and we would love to hear from each one of you as we go through each day. So be sure to chime in. So hey guys, I've got to talk to you about our conversation and what you guys feel that a woman should do, because I think women just want to know, how do I approach a man that I want? And what do you recommend or suggest that I do? Because a lot of these women, they're interested in these guys, but they really don't know how to approach them. So I'm going to start, Matt, you're last because you have the matchmaking. You know, women are waiting for what you're going to say. So Tim, I'm going to start with you. What would you say to a woman who knows the guy that she's attracted to? Well, how would you tell her to approach this guy?
I mean, be yourself. Stay looking pretty and don't get on the niggas' nerves.
I love Tim. Tim keeping a buck. I love it. I love it.
I just can't deal with you. Tim, it's got to be more than that. Not stay looking pretty and don't get on his nerves.
That's how he feels. That's how that man feels. That's his authentic.
Dr. Campbell, don't be agreeing with him because he's a Campbell.
All about authenticity.
Hey, you know what though? It's as clear as day, right? You got to be yourself. So I totally agree. If you be yourself, you come as you are. You let the man know that you are interested. Stop beating around the damn bush.
Yes.
If you're interested, just come and say you are. Right?
Yes.
Guys, we don't like this bobbing and weaving. And no, just be direct and say what you want, and then see what happens after that. I mean, that's all you can do.
Oh, I can't wait.
Be as clear as you can be. Right? So yeah,
I love it.
Don't get on their nerves, right?
Like,
that's
not at his last. So listen,
RJ, what do you say?
Ladies, listen. Here's where it is, and I'm gonna keep it raw and uncut. If you see a man and you want to have sex with that man, let that man know that. Be authentic, be true, be real. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't play no games. Right. It's okay to want a man and then tell that man you want that man. Like, it's okay. But the most important thing is just be your authentically true self. Don't try to be fake. Don't try to be phony. Don't try to fit in, right? Because we can see through that, right? So authenticity matters. However, if you see any of us out with the exclusion of Matt and Dr. Campbell, you want us, just tell us you want it. We may oblige and we may not, and it's okay. We're going to keep it
Y'all make me laugh. Matt, I got to just say, Matt, go ahead.
All right, love, doctor, take it away.
All right. So, Fridays is the day that a lot of people meet people, and doesn't have to be at a club. It can be in the grocery store, it can be walking down the street. So the acronym that I give my clients is TGIF. First of all, identify a target, get close, say something that lets him or her, in this case him, know that you want him, that you're interested. So be direct. And then F is follow up. Ask for the number. This is not Disney. If you want the number, ask for the number. Tell them what you're looking for in him, and then see what happens from there. So TGIF is what I would tell you. Number one, make sure you have the target, and then end with the follow-up. Do not let them get away. This is the real world. It's not Disney. Say what you want.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. All I gotta say is we're closing out and we got more questions. Okay, so listen, before we go tonight, let me just pop this in. Thank you so much, Wendy, for watching. She said, here's a question. What if you were giving a man sex every other day, initiating it every other day, cooking, cleaning, taking care of his business, and your man still cheated on you?
He wasn't the man for you.
He wasn't.
He wasn't shit in the beginning.
He's not
That's
the man
it.
for nobody.
And you didn't recognize it, unfortunately, Wendy, and we apologize for that, but he wasn't shit from the start.
Yeah, she missed all the signs.
Shit. Facts.
All right, so all of you are saying that this guy wasn't the guy from the start. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that guy's gonna cheat or do whatever you do on anybody.
He gonna be who he gonna be. If she doing all that and he's still cheating, then he ain't that guy. He wasn't shit from the beginning. Keeping it above.
Okay, Wendy, you heard it from the guy.
He could be one of them down low brothers and don't want a woman or something. That's the only other thing that makes sense.
Well, you said it then.
Okay, you know what matters?
He didn't like her.
So I think Matt said it earlier that, you know, that the problem there is in the choice, right? I mean, initially, right, that the choice is really what was wrong. So no matter what you do, if the choice is wrong, the foundation is not correct. No matter what you could cook, clean, wash, this, that, whatever, but they'll still do what they want to do because the choice was wrong from the first place.
Absolutely.
If you pick a pig out of the mud, wash the pig off.
You can't
get it all nice and pretty.
I think it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
What if you put a pretty wig on it?
All I gotta say is, Roz, thank you so much for watching.
She said, thank you, Roz. We appreciate
she said,
that.
Perhaps the best. She
love that, Roz. Thank you, Roz.
Darren said, love this. We'll be back and soon. So thank you. He said, be back on soon. Thank you, Darren, for supporting us. Jenny's giving you guys, she's cracking up laughing at you. And Roz said, you guys are having her fall out. She's laughing. Hey, what's going on? Real Talk with the ladies. Miss Rita McDowell, Dr. McDowell. She says, hey. Nicole Belcher. Hey, Belcher. She said, RJ LOL. Okay, RJ, she local. Wait a minute now. Roz said, dang. She said, a target. Rita, she said, be direct and ask absolutely. And then Belcher said, Matt told me to call him about dating. I'm ready to chat now. All right. Shantae says she's applauding us. Thank you so much for watching, Chantel. We appreciate it. Nicole says, I agree with Dr. Campbell. And then Rita did another hey to y'all because Rita's enjoying every second of this. Thank you so much, Real Talk with the ladies, for supporting the other cast members. Guys, as always, you never fail. Like Thursday is my day that I laugh because I never know what's going to come out of your mouths.
Hey, Christine.
Yes.
But when they was talking and they kept saying you got to be direct to the man and all that stuff, for some reason I just kept thinking about Teddy Pendergrass. He was like, you got what I need. Turn
it on.
Turn the damn lights off.
Crazy. I don't even get it. Guys. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to close out the show. Ladies, I'm going to say this to you. And this is one of the things that I 100% practice all the time. And my girls who know, who we hang out, especially my guys, I'm the kind of person, I'll send you a drink. And the first thing I'll say is, I don't want anything from you. I just wanted to compliment you. You look great. One of the things that I did to a guy is that he had on this tight shirt. And he had on a tight shirt because he was really well built. I walked up to him. All the women were looking at him. And I walked up to him and I said, one, I'm about to fill your chest. Because I think that's what you want somebody to do because you got this tight shirt on and you looking good. And he just laughed. And I said, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy you a drink and I'm going to walk away because that's me paying you for the opportunity to fill all over your chest. To this day, him and I are still really good friends because he thought I was hilarious. We never dated and it wasn't about that. It was about me just really being me in that moment. And that's what I want to say to you guys. Like they said, be upfront, be honest about who you are and just enjoy life. Because you never know who you're going to meet. All of these guys are my friends, and I absolutely love all of them. And whenever I need any type of more support, they got me. So ladies, think about that. When you run across the next guy, you never know who he's going to be in your life. So give them a compliment and just walk away and let it happen. All right, see you guys here next Thursday, but tomorrow night, chime in. We got Gerald Robinson, 60 is the new 40. And on Saturday, we talking about that money with the finance quad. And you guys know, if you got a family, we got Dr. Shelley on. She's bringing it to you and showing you how to fix your families with love and conversation over dinner. See you guys tomorrow night, 8 to 9.